As you can see, I read quite a bit. I'm always looking for books that are not a fad or a trend. I call them classics, meaning they can be read today and very applicable. They can be read 100 years from today and be very applicable. This book here, I bought it when it first came out way back in 2008. The name of it is Praying for Strangers, written by River Jordan. It's an amazing book. I would like to give you a little background because I really want to encourage you to buy it. I buy this in groups of 5 sometimes because there's people that it would really help. There are people that have seemingly everything, and this shows them that they don't have everything. And so it's been a lifesaver for me for buying gifts for people. But Praying for Strangers is River Jordan's memoir, and it concerns, I would say, a memoir of a portion of her life. I'm always looking for books, this is in the Revived Life series, that address mind, body, spirit, or emotions. This book here addresses the spirit and the emotions. Let me give you a little background. Back before she wrote this book, her 2 sons were going off to war. And this is after 2001. And she writes about seeing her sons off to the military and her saying to them, "I'm going to pray for you." And then she started thinking about, do people really follow through with that? And are other people praying for my sons? And am I supposed to pray for other people? Which she had, but never apparently on purpose. And then she had this idea come into her mind to pray for strangers. And it settled there for a while. A few weeks later, she's at Centennial Park reading a book. And this homeless lady walks up to her and says to her, "Do you have a dollar?" And River Jordan started looking. She doesn't not give money to homeless people thinking that they're going to drink it or anything like that. If she has some money, she's going to give it to them. And she didn't have a dollar. She didn't have any cash on her at all. So then the homeless lady starts looking through her pocket. She finds a dollar and she gives it to River Jordan and says, "Now you've got a dollar." And they talked for a while. And as the homeless lady walked away, she said to her, because they had exchanged names, she said this to her: "Pray for me, River Jordan." So now there's 2 big hints with River Jordan to start praying for strangers. She got a lot of raised eyebrows from her husband when she told her husband about the event. And, "You took a dollar from a homeless person?" She took it to heart. And the book then goes on to talk about her sons are going off to war and they're coming home for Christmas and she wants everything perfect. And then this idea of praying for strangers starts also entering her mind. Have you ever noticed when something really important, either good or bad, is happening in your life, one becomes obsessed with that and to the exclusion of everything else? Well, this entered her mind to be praying for strangers, which toned down in a good way the event of her sons coming and everything's supposed to be perfect. And she started also simultaneously thinking, everything isn't perfect for other people. And it really helped her go through this extremely emotional time because she simultaneously worrying about her sons and trying to make everything perfect for possibly their last Christmas together. They were going to war. And it got her through it as a more whole person. The rest of the book are the true stories of people that she prayed for, strangers. But it goes even deeper. You know, it's one thing to pray for a stranger and not let them know it. It's another thing to go up to a stranger that you have been kind of prompted to, that divine inspiration, to pray for that person and to ask them what you could possibly pray for them for. Boy, that's going out on a limb, isn't it? So now we've got spiritual, emotional, and mental, because there's that psychology. All of a sudden, all those protections that we put around ourselves, we're totally vulnerable now when you do this. One of the stories, but every one of them is an amazing story. It is so worth reading and sharing. Meaning, buying this for other people that seemingly might have it all, or might be in dire need of how to think about other people whilst also thinking about your own problems. But one of the stories that stuck out on me is she was at a Thai restaurant here in Nashville. I think it was the one on White Bridge Road. And she was in there having lunch and reading a book. And she saw this lady come in, young, absolutely beautiful, dressed to the nines, impeccable, and this urging, that divine inspiration, pray for her, River Jordan, which in her case meant she had to actually get up and go up to the lady and let her know that she has been who she is and that she has been urged to pray for her, and what could she possibly pray for her for. So she gave in, and she went up to the lady, beautiful, young, dressed to the nines, and said, hi, my name is River Jordan. I've been really urged to pray for you. Is there something I could pray for you? And this is what the lady said to her. She said, some things have been happening into my life, and I've never had to go out and do an interview for a job, and now, due to circumstances in my life, I am having to go out and interview for a job, and I am so afraid. And they talked for a few minutes, and the lady went on, thank you so much for, I feel pretty good about going to this interview. That's just one story in this wonderful book, this classical book. The gravitas of this book, the impact that it's going to have on you individually. Don't pass it up. Don't let it go by. This is a classic, Praying for Strangers. It'll give profound help and support to your spiritual, your emotional, and your mental health. Get it for you. Get it for other people too.